They do sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid to exit out of it to try to fix it. So I'm just gonna read it on it.
Just read it.
Yeah.
I would kind of do. I would kind of make. Well, I'm.
Yeah, we cut 5 inches off the photo. She's doing a heck of a job, though, Mike. Guys, she's phenomenal. Looks like it. Keller, where are you going? You got 10 seconds. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's got him in the pouch. Yeah, he's in the pouch.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. We got everybody here. Okay. Tell me when you're ready. Are you ready? All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, everyone being here once again for the full council meeting and the video. Everyone at home, we have our first meeting with our youth council tonight from Russellville High School. We're happy to have them here. At this time, we'll start with a moment of silence. This is 60 seconds. You can feel free to pray, meditate. This is a time I use to pray to my God, so just use this 60 seconds however you choose. All right, if you would, join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Ms. Skelton, would you give us a roll call, please? You want to chair, get Mr. Olson's? Can she get Mr. Olson's, or will the video follow her? I don't know. So
That one's not working.
it's not working either. Let's see what happens here. Okay, there you are. Well, there. Just don't touch it.
Thanks. Mr. George,
Here.
Miss Barraza,
Here.
Miss Young, Mr. Olson, Mr. Bradley,
Here.
Mr. Westcott,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gray,
Here.
Mr. Keller,
Here.
Mayor Teague,
Here.
Mr. Smith, and myself. Do you have a quorum?
All right, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, have you had an opportunity to view the minutes for approval from August 15th and August 29th?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All right. Any opposed? All right, the minutes will be approved. I would like to, at this point in time, to welcome Ms. Brittany Baker, our new finance director, for her first finance report. We're super happy to have her as part of our family and part of our team. So take it away, Ms. Baker.
All right. For your viewing pleasure is the August finance report. General fund revenues in August were $1,296,359. And year-to-date, that's 1.92% above budget. Sales tax and turnback were $1,038,716. Franchise fees and permits were $26,489. The tax revenue comparison for the city this year, it's a little bit above last year at $3,770,041. The city's portion of the county tax is also up a little bit at $4,534,951. The city's a little bit below budget on the actual versus budget year-to-date analysis, 2.74% below budget, so that's yay. County's above at 0.81. General expenditures for August in the general fund were $1,205,731. Of that, personnel-related expenditures were $968,311. Utilities and other were $237,420, which is 0.31% below budget year-to-date. For the street fund, August revenue total was $1,010,291. The breakdown under that is the 2021 sales tax, $647,064. State turnback and ad valorem tax was $214,323. Interest was $139,498. Street cutting permits were $2,850. Other revenue was $6,556. Revenue for the street operating is 16.2% above projections, 2.62 above projections if you don't include the interest. For expenditures in the street fund, August operational expenses were $204,663. Of that, personnel was $128,212. Utilities and other was $76,451. Capital spending was $10,572. The half-cent road tax spending was $257,966. The 2014 sales tax spending was $508,237. 2021 sales tax spending was $280,094, and you can see the expenditures there as well. For economic development, the revenues was $119,523. Of that, new sales tax was $92,438, and interest was $27,085. We had no August expenditures out of the economic development fund. The balance of the various economic development funds as of August 31st are listed below for a total of $6,048,805. Capital assets and August revenues were $1,583. All of that was interest. The expenditures were $52,847. Of that, building improvements were $46,328. RPD vehicle equipment was $5,456. Airport taxiway was $1,063. The 2021 1-cent sales tax is listed below. The unspent balance at the end of August is $22,544,881. And that concludes the finance report for August. Any
right.
questions?
Thank you, Ms. Baker. We appreciate you. Welcome to the team. All right, moving on. I do want to share something on the mayor's report. I do want to go on public record and just state our commitment as a city and a council and the Russellville Police Department, our EMS and our fire and all first responders to our commitment to school safety. We are committed. I know there's a lot of talk on social media. Parents are concerned about a lot of different things, but just know that all of your local resources are working as hard as they can. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and I definitely want everyone to know that that is a commitment that we all stand behind as a local government, and just want parents to know that we're doing everything that we possibly can for the safety of the children at young adults. I'm sorry, you are kids to us, but the young adults at our schools and all of our schools. So just want to make that public. So, all right, Chief. I didn't even know that was you coming up. So here comes Chief Yoon for the departmental report. Yeah. So.
Hey, Brady did a great job.
Yeah. So.
Give me just a second to.
You done yet? Just kidding.
Where do you need to come to, Mom, Brittany?
No report tonight?
Okay. James showed me how to do this. Hey, look there, we're cooking with gas now. All right. Council, thank you for allowing me to give my annual report. This report I'm going to give is, I hadn't put the timer on yet, but it'll be brief, but I'll be open to any questions afterwards. This is not going to be a comprehensive report of all the activities we did in 2024, But its purpose is to kind of highlight our accomplishments, display the progress we've made in providing law enforcement services to the community, and the challenges that we face in delivering those police services. Of course, I can't go through 2024 without mentioning the eclipse. In April, I think everybody knows we had an eclipse, and the police department prepared and successfully executed probably the largest Russellville police operation in history. This is a full deployment of our resources, and if you can see in that picture in the middle, that is everybody who worked the eclipse. That was our full department at the time. A lot of the other pictures you see is, behind the scenes, what it took to pull this off and some of the issues we had that day, if you can see some of the traffic. I'm just really proud, of the men and women of the police department who were able to make this a successful event because, all of what you see behind the scenes, it really helps ensure a safe, secure, and successful weekend for those that visit our city and us here who participated in that event. So that was a pretty big operation for us, and we're proud. Probably one of the more noticeable changes that we've made since the last time I gave this report was our increased presence of our bike patrol officers. As you can see by the photos that I've showed here, we rode during Halloween last year for the first time that I can remember being with RPD and in the busy neighborhoods, and it was a very huge success. We got a lot of positive feedback. Our bike patrol officers have been more visible during our downtown events, as many of you have probably seen. And we've even changed some of our working hours to try to facilitate having more bikes on our trail systems and in our parks, so they're more visible in those areas. Now, this is an additional duty for these men and women who ride the bike patrol. It does involve overtime, but the core group of officers I have riding the bikes, they're so enthusiastic in going above and beyond to provide this service that it's been well received by the public. And if you can tell Haley there in the middle, I think she actually won that game of Jenga. So I don't think she's allowed to come back anymore. She kind of won everything, I believe. Also, during the past year, we've had it's been a year of change with retirements, promotions, and transfer of assignments. Last year was challenging for us with the death of our administrative assistant to cancer. This year, the change has at least been more positive in nature with the promotions and retirements. You can see some of the pictures there. The most notable event was Officer Alex Shipley. He was recognized not only as the local American Legion Law Enforcement Officer of the Year, but he was also recognized at a state level for the American Legion as Officer of the Year. So that's a big accomplishment. We're very proud of Alex for that. And this map, this slide here, preparing for the future. As the city of Russellville grows and continues to grow, the police department has to be adaptable and grow with it. And it's always better if we can get ahead of that game so we're not behind the eight ball and trying to play catch up. As we prepare for the future, we continue to evaluate and improve upon many aspects of our operations to ensure that we provide the best police law enforcement services with the resources that we were provided. Continuing to enhance our officers' capability through training. You see the one photo there, the car, the police, you can't really see what's going on, but they're actually doing tire spike training. And if you drove by Pleasant View Park anywhere around noontime today, you probably saw that going on. You just saw police cars chasing a white car in circles. That's what they were doing. And that's not just only training, but there's a lot of other capabilities. We make sure they have the tools to do their job properly as, the city grows. Over to the left there, you see an obstacle course. That's our commitment to reinforce officer wellness and employee wellness. We put a lot more on physical fitness, and actually that's something we have at our range it kind of looks like a tore up football field, which it is from Texas, but we did that within our budget and very cheaply, and it helps prevent injuries, and all our officers are actually running through that course to promote physical fitness to be the best officer possible. And if you're interested, my time was 2:11. I'm not the slowest. So that's kind of the joke. You can't be slower than the chief. I'm middle of the pack, okay? So, Mayor, don't believe me, but... No, I think I can break two if I try hard. We're also trying to evaluate and adjust how we operate as the city continues to grow and meet the increased demands on the department. What you see in the middle that's us. Our biggest project right now is working with Polk County 911 to reorganize how we dispatch calls and patrol our city. The city has grown, and we've answered more calls to where we want to make sure we're highly visible in busy areas, and our response times are quicker. So we're taking on that project as preparing to grow. So we have a lot of projects going to do that. Of course, we continue to evaluate and enhance our recruitment and retention of officers. That's our biggest challenge every time, so we can better serve. We had the grant that we got at the beginning of the year for 5 additional officers. I can say as of Monday, I have no other jobs to offer. If I can just get them through training, that's a great accomplishment. As challenging it is to hire officers, if I can get to January or March without losing anybody, we'll be at full staff. So that's been a big accomplishment in such a short period of time. And I have to thank the council, the mayor, for always looking at our benefits and trying to make things better. Even the last council and mayor, changing our pay scale helped attract certified officers to fill those spots as quickly as we did. And I can't, civil service kind of put them over the barrel to test every month, because it is still challenging getting anybody in this profession. But basically, we are moving forward. I know this is short, but your police department, the command staff, I've got great officers that work for me. There's one back there, McCool. I know you didn't want him. He's awesome. You got a great department, and we're pushing forward and progressing forward, and we couldn't have done it without you, the community support we get in our community stakeholders. So unless you have any questions, that'll be the end of my report, and I hope I'm in time, Kenneth. I'm close enough.
Thank you, sir,
Or thank you.
for all your ladies and gentlemen in K-9s that service 24 hours a day. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on, Mr. Gray, do you have anything for personnel?
No report, Your Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Westcott, do you happen to have something for us this evening?
We have just a few things in front of us this evening, beginning with item number 1, which is an appropriation request from the reserves of the Oakland Cemetery Fund. The sum of $30,568 to be used to provide funding to install the fencing along the west side, or the west line, rather, of the Oakland Cemetery. And the committee presents item number 1 as a motion to adopt.
All right, we have a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on to item 2.
Item number 2 is consideration of a resolution that would approve an airport ground lease and hangar development agreement between the City of Russellville, Arkansas, a municipal corporation, and Tim Hill. It would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to sign that air ground lease and hangar development agreement with Tim Hill for the lease of certain lands and development of an airport hangar at the airport. And we present item number 2 as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on to item 3.
Item number 3 is an appropriation request from the police department from the 2021 Sales Tax Capital Fund, the sum of $394,320.33 to be used to purchase 4 Dodge Durango Patrol SUVs and equipment, 1 Dodge Durango CID SUV and its equipment, and 1 Ford Escape all-wheel drive for the admin and its equipment. And we present item number 3 as a motion to adopt.
Got a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on to item 4.
Item number 4 is an appropriation request from the 2021 Sales Tax Capital Fund and from the Economic Development Fund, the sum of $754,900 to be used for construction of the new pickleball courts. We present item number 4 as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on to item 5.
And if you all will allow, pulling item number 1 from our 5:30 this evening agenda is consideration of a resolution that would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer, the finance director, and the Parks and Rec director to sign a construction agreement and the associated paperwork with Western Millwright Commercial Construction Incorporated for the construction of these 6 pickleball courts at the Russellville Soccer Complex at 901 Lock and Dam Road. And we present what this is delineated, item 1, as a motion to adopt.
All right, I have a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on, sir.
Okay. Moving back then to number 5 in this agenda is an appropriation request from the 2021 Sales Tax Capital Fund, the sum of $6,699.37 to be used to purchase the new funnel climber barrier for Sequoia Park Playground, and we present item number 5 as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir.
Item number 6 is an appropriation request from the 2023 General Fund carryover, the sum of $75,343.23 to be used to fund the purchase of 3 John Deere Z997R zero-turn lawnmowers for the Parks and Rec Department, and we present item number 6 as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir.
Item number 7 is a reappropriation request from the Capital Asset Fund number 4 carryover balance, the sum of $34,527 to be used to provide funding for the construction of the dry storage facility at Public Works, and we present item number 7 as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on to item 8.
Items number 8 and 8A. Number 8 is an appropriation request from the reserves of the street fund, the sum of $34,881 to be used for the City Hall and the Police Department parking lot maintenance. And number 8A is consideration of a resolution that would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to enter into an agreement with McCormick Works Incorporated for the construction services for the City Hall and the police station parking lot maintenance projects. And we present items number 8 and 8A as a motion to adopt.
All right, I have a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on.
Item number 9 is consideration of a resolution that would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to enter into an agreement with Ford Engineering Incorporated for construction services for the Shiloh Manor Drainage Improvement Project for the city of Russellville, Arkansas. And we present item number 9 as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir.
Item number 10 is consideration of a resolution that would approve and ratify the expenses for a sewer extension completed for economic development purposes by City Corporation. It would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to execute a sewer collection main extension agreement with City Corporation, dispersing the funds previously allocated for the project and for other purposes. We present item number 10 as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on.
Item number 11 is consideration of a resolution that would accept a bid from Redstone Construction Group Incorporated on behalf of the Russellville Municipal Airport for the airport apron reconstruction Phase 1 project. It would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to enter into an agreement with Redstone Construction for those improvements. And we present item number 11 as a motion to adopt.
All right, I got a motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
From our meeting this evening at 5:30, the final item on that agenda was consideration of a resolution that would approve a proposed amount to acquire the lands identified as tracts number 226 and 227 in the Prairie Creek Flood Improvement Project. It would authorize the mayor to negotiate with the owner of the properties identified as tracts 226 and 227 and the council, and to acquire said certain areas within said tracts for the Prairie Creek Flood Improvement Project. It would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to enter into a real estate contract to acquire said areas within the tracts, as well as to execute any and all necessary documents to complete the purchase of said areas for the approved proposed amount on behalf of the city of Russellville and for other purposes. And we present item number 3 as a motion to adopt.
I have a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sir.
Mayor, that being the last of our agenda, I yield the floor back to you.
Thank you, Chairman. All right, moving on to unfinished old business. Item 1 is a consideration of an ordinance of an amendment to zone text amendment to adopt updates of Articles 3.2, 2.5, 5.83, 5.10.2, 6.12. This is the Russellville zoning code. This is unanimously recommended by the Planning Commission. This will be the second of 3 readings.
The mayor, I've not asked if he wants to do it word for word, but I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the requirement to read it word for word, read by title only of the second of three readings with a short explanation.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on the reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir. No.
An ordinance amending the zoning code for the city of Russellville, Arkansas, ordinance number 2443, and for other purposes. This ordinance, if passed, would amend the current Russellville zoning code, which is adopted by ordinance number 2443, by amending Article 3, Section 22, concerning commercial building design, amending Article 5, Sections 8 and 10, regarding landscaping exemptions, amending Article 6, Section 6, regarding off-street parking requirements, and adding or amending definitions within the definition article, which is Article number 12, and amending Article 14 regarding the area requirements of the various zones, and Article 15 concerning triplexes and quadplexes in the El Paso district, as further described and detailed in the Exhibit A attached with this ordinance and incorporated herein by reference.
All right. Moving on to item 2, we have consideration of the ordinance to update Article 5.3.1 of the Land Subdivision and Development Code. This is unanimously recommended by the Planning Commissions. This will also be a second of 3 readings.
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the second of 3 readings by title with a short explanation.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on the reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sir.
An ordinance amending the Land Subdivision Development Code for the city of Russellville, Arkansas, ordinance number 2444, and for other purposes. This ordinance, if passed, would amend the Land Subdivision Development Code of the city of Russellville, which was adopted by ordinance number 2444, specifically Article 5, which is further depicted and shown on the amendments contained within Exhibit A, which is incorporated herein by reference.
All right, thank you, sir. Moving on to item 3, we have a consideration of an ordinance amending the city code for offenses involving public safety, health, and welfare. Article 4, adopted by ordinance 2477 by adding a new chapter, Chapter 5, regulating the hours of operation for all city parks, consolidating ordinances regulating city parks, repealing ordinance numbers 1267, 1307, 1319, 1337, 1367, 1541, 1887, and 2037, and for other purposes. This is sponsored by Mr. Smith, our city attorney. This will be the first reading.
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the first of 3 readings by title with a short explanation.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, sir.
An ordinance amending the city code for offenses involving public safety, health, and welfare, Article 4, adopted by ordinance number 2477 by adding a new chapter, Chapter 5, regulating the hours of operation for all city parks, consolidating ordinance regulating city parks, repealing ordinance numbers 2467, 1307, 1319, 1337, 1367, 1541, 1887, and 2037. And for other purposes, this ordinance passed would consolidate the hours regulating the operation for all city parks, and would also consolidate the ordinances which set regulations concerning bottles and glass containers, the operation of food vendors in city parks, the prohibition of all-terrain vehicles in city parks, the speed in all city parks, and a pet policy, as further described in Exhibit A, which is attached with this ordinance, incorporated herein by reference.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, moving on to item 4, this is a consideration of an ordinance to rezone a certain property from R3 medium high-density residential to C2 highway commercial, I apologize, located at the 1500 to 1700 block of Russell Road. This is submitted by Barrett & Associates on behalf of PK Development, unanimously recommended by the Planning Commission. This should be the second and final reading, is my understanding.
Mayor, I move we dispense with the, or suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirements, read the second and final time.
By title. By title.
Sorry, read the second and final time by title, short explanation. Sorry.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second on the reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any any opposed? All right, sir.
An ordinance rezoning certain really in the city of Russellville, Arkansas, and for other purposes. This ordinance, if passed, would rezone property from R3 to C2, which is located in the 15 to 1700 blocks of Russell Road, as further identified by the Polk County Assessor's Number 863-3012-001A, as further described and shown in Exhibit A, incorporated into this ordinance by reference.
All right, thank you, sir.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so we're moving on. Item 5 will be a consideration of ordinance accepting the dedication of right-of-ways and easements contained within the final plat located at 1216 Hilltop Drive to the city of Russellville, Arkansas, for other purposes. This is submitted by Robert Allard. This is the second of 3 readings. This is unanimously recommended by the Planning Commission.
Mayor, there being no concerns from the public or anybody on this issue, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the second and final time by title with a short explanation.
I have a motion and a second on the reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
An ordinance adopting the dedication of the easements to the city of Russellville, Arkansas, and for other purposes. This ordinance, if adopted, would accept the easements that are depicted and shown on the final plat of the South El Paso Addition, which is located at 1216 Hilltop Drive, Marina Heights, as further shown and depicted in Exhibit A, which is attached to this ordinance, incorporated herein by reference, and was approved by the Planning Commission on July 30th, 2024.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
All right, so I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that will move on.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to bring a late agenda item, and that item would be a discussion on the cards contract. When I was,
So do we need we have a motion,
Second.
have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Yeah. Because we got to add it first. All in favor to add?
aye.
Any opposed? All right, so then we can add that. So, all right, then go forward, sir.
Okay, the reason I was bringing it up, because as Ms. Skelton can tell you, I always seem to think something's on the agenda and it's not there, and it really is. And so I just thought I had missed this because we had discussed this at agenda prep, and I know what happens when you assume, but I assumed that was coming back, and we do have a representative from Cards here tonight. However, since we don't have that contract in front of us, it may be difficult to have this discussion, but we have some redlined items in there that we were going to try to clean up, if I'm not mistaken, and we need to get that cleaned up because we're operating under something that I think Cards acted in good faith, and we did too, but I think we still have some issues hanging out there, if I'm not mistaken.
Due to the fact that we don't have the documentation, do we need to push this to October agenda prep? Or is there, I'm just asking council.
Well, and certainly I would be agreeable to that, but again, recall, it was understood at the time when those 4 or 5 items were presented that the one item that we addressed was critical. The other items were, at that time, not critical. They were important, like to be addressed in the sooner than later but not critical. Certainly not critical enough for this evening's decision.
Mr. Smith, those red line items, have we voted on that and accepted those, or are those just still sitting out in legal limbo?
No, they're accepted. They're actually trying to amend them after acceptance and execution of the contract. So you're going by what is currently in the contract. They want to change just a few things, the CPI
Okay.
index, and also some type of discussion over who has final authority, should there be a change in law or tax, or whether the landfill costs go up. Currently, the contract says ultimately we don't have to accept. If there's changes that affect them, they have to bring it to us on those two items, and we have final say. And
Okay.
They want to have a discussion on that, or at least they did
So-
a few weeks ago.
Okay, thank you. So legally, the city is protected by what we have signed at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
And Ms. Skelton, our city clerk, has advised me that that was pushed from September to October's agenda prep. So it
Okay,
will be
okay.
it will be on the agenda prep for October. Mr. Tarpley, would you be able to be there?
You know, when we took the contract up to get it signed, after it made all its rounds, you know, I think everybody's okay on our end with everything the way it is. The biggest thing was that 60-day cancellation, so.
So are you saying we don't need to have this
Y'all don't need
discussion?
to- y'all don't need to
You are
address
good
that
with
if y'all are
where
good
we're
with
at? So
Yeah.
is the council good with that?
Good.
I'm
Thank
good
you.
with that if
Thank
Mr.
you.
Smith's good with that.
Yeah.
Mr. Keller, do you have any?
No, I mean, the items that were left over, was it 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah,
that
it
were
was
left
those,
over that
were
were
those
pushed.
3% increases?
Yeah,
and-
there was, yeah, those were all, when Mr. Tarpley and I spoke about them, I know that there was requests to change the CPI index from one specific one to another because it would flow with the rest of the contracts that they have and make it administratively easier for them to use. But if they are not needing those changes,
Right.
So he's good. So
And
we're good with the signed contract that we
It's
have
quite-
right
fine
now.
with
Quite
the
an
city,
ordeal to
then
get
I'm perfectly fine with keeping it the way it is.
Go, so we're good with it if y'all are.
All right.
Perfect.
Thank y'all.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, we will adjourn. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Miss,
Did you get a second?
what,
Well,
Mr.
then,
Kelly?
Well, we've already adjourned, but
Oh, no, I haven't.
Don't have a-
you haven't gavelled
Yeah, I
yet.
hadn't gavelled yet.
Okay, so then we need to just remove this from agenda prep?
Remove
for
this from agenda
October
prep,
then?
yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so,
So you're making a
you
motion
need-
to remove that from agenda
yeah, I
prep?
don't know
Yes,
if I need to make a
yes,
motion or
yes,
if I
sir.
need to send an email or whatever, but if we don't need it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are adjourned.